Good morning, you guys. I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready for San Diego Comic-Con 2024. And yes, that is not a mistake. I made it to Comic-Con in San Diego 2024. I was super excited for this trip because I did not know what to anticipate, and also because I was pretty nervous because I wanted to cosplay and I wanted to do something exciting and different because I wasn't sure if I'd ever be able to come back again. And I wanted to plan this whole big outfit, but I ran out of time and I didn't get a chance to finish it, so instead I opted to do Sadness from Inside Out. I wanted to share this video as a way to talk about my first ever experience with Comic-Con, and I'll talk about that later in the video, but as of right now you get to see me sort of get into my cosplay. So I started out with some face paint. I haven't done SFX in a really long time, but I had to paint my whole face and my neck and my ears blue because Sadness wears a turtleneck sweater, so I didn't have to worry about the rest of my body, thankfully. But San Diego is really hot, so that was kind of a fault to the costume that I was basically burning the whole time. I do want to say though, like, in terms of getting to go to Comic-Con, it was super exciting and interesting because I had to wait in this super long line months in advance to get a possible ticket, or possibly not because it could have been sold out, but I only managed to get 1 day of tickets for both me and my boyfriend. And my boyfriend has always wanted to go to Comic-Con, which is the initial reason as to why I got this trip, because I wanted to share the experience with him. And this is me putting powder onto my face. It's important to set the liquid foundation. It's essentially like foundation, but it's face paint, so I use this powder to set it, but the powder is kind of skin tone, so it looks kind of weird. Anyway, and then I went into this blue eyeshadow palette for contour and for the little details on my face. And as you see me going into it, you'll see like how I do it in depth based on the picture of Sadness. I try my best to be as accurate as possible and also show the emotion without needing to make the face every single time. And I think like at the end of it all, I did a pretty good job. I also tried my best to follow the image as best as possible. I do think that, the experience overall was something that was definitely worth it, and if I do go again to Comic-Con, I definitely want to plan out my outfit a little bit more, but to be honest, for what I had and the time that I had, and also waking up at 5 in the morning, I think I did a pretty good job in terms of my cosplay. Plus, later on in the video, you'll see that what I chose to do was actually pretty popular, and I ended up getting lots of photos of lots of people. Now, at this point, I am starting to do the highlights, not just the contour. I think the important part that not a lot of people know about SFX makeup or about, making illusions in terms of makeup is that you actually have to go in with the darker shades in the contour, and then go in with the lighter, and then go back in with the darker, and then go back in with the lighter. You kind of have to do both steps multiple times in order to get the look to look the way that you want it to. And so I just started to mess with the colors a little bit, adding darkers, adding lighters, all at the same time over and over again, until I got what I liked. And this is me adding the darkest parts and the darkest colors to create more of a distinct part that's dark. And then this is me adding little eyebrow parts in order to see that, the eyebrows have emotions too. And then I just continued to do that over and over again. And I continued to do that sort of same thing on my nose. My nose, I did like a normal contour that you normally do, like with normal contour when you do normal makeup, but I tried to make my best a button nose because Sadness has literally a circle for her nose. And then in terms of my mouth, the ends of my mouth kind of have an upturn naturally, so it's kind of hard for me to look with I'm naturally sad all the time, so I had to create sort of a downturn to the ends of my lips and also continue that throughout my lips so that then it looks like a continuous frown and it looks more natural. And from what I heard from everybody else who was watching and looking at my cosplay, everybody thought that I was constantly frowning, which was honestly the goal. And this is what it looks like with all of the contour and all of the highlights. And then I added some blush because sometimes sadness and some of the images have like a little bit of blush. I tried not to overdo it or else I'd look like a clown, so I tried my best. And then to have more of a cartoony look, I added the white into my eyes and the waterline. And then I added a blue mascara because why not? I have a blue mascara. And then my final step was to add this sort of shimmery glitter highlight color that was in the same palette because it would emphasize the highlights even more than just a lighter color. And this, I think, definitely tied it together, especially the eyebrows part. And then that's it. And this is me taking down my hair and then getting the final look. So yeah, I would love to do a more in-depth SFX look in the future, just maybe make a whole section dedicated to SFX makeup. And this was definitely a fun way for me to feel a bit of nostalgia and go back into my old ways of doing SFX makeup. But yeah, time to set it. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I just wanted to pair up this big sweater. If you guys can't tell by now, I'm supposed to be Sadness from Inside Out. It's kind of a last minute costume, I think. You know, I did a pretty good job. I haven't done like SFX makeup in a really long time. But yeah, I woke up at 5 this morning to start getting ready. Sorry the sound. I couldn't really do a voiceover while I was getting ready, but I mean, like I couldn't talk while I was getting ready, but I'll probably do a voiceover during editing. We're going to Comic-Con today. The plan is that like I got on the wait list, and I probably already said all this stuff already, but I got on the wait list months and months ago, and I picked a random day, and today's the day that we're going. The thing I'm looking forward to most is definitely going to see this booth called Milk and Mocha. It's these two cute little bears. I'll put like a picture of it somewhere on the screen that I really like. And they're really adorable. But yeah, I'll definitely vlog as much as I can. Maybe get some B-roll footage. But I'm really excited. I woke up earlier than I normally ever wake up, especially during the summer. But I actually woke up, which is surprising. But yeah, hopefully today goes well. And wish us luck.
Someday never comes, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere, endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind. I'm drenched in sunshine and good times, changing the station with an open mind. I don't wanna sound selfish, but I'm not coming back. The highs up you touch like vertigo, it's a fight or flight rush, no way to take it slow. Got me feeling like I could breathe. Someday never comes, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere. comes. Road trips and shotgun, sunshine on my skin. Smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere. Endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind. Tastes like honey, call me hurricane. Waking up to the sun when I'm out again. I didn't let it trade me when the pieces fell out of place. Unlock the giants, I'm too young for dying. I fight with defiance, hard to fit in when I'm flying, flying. Fit in when I'm flying, flying. Something never comes, road trips and shotgun, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere, endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind. I'm drenched in sunshine and good times, changing the station with an open mind. It tastes like honey, call me hurricane. Waking up when the pieces fell out of place.
Okay, so up until this point, my boyfriend and we got really tired, so we ended up going back to the hotel to drop off a few things that we have gotten so far. Also, Ambea got kind of tired too and overwhelmed, so we took her home so she could, relax at the hotel by herself, and she did well by herself, which I'm really proud of, and she was the perfect angel. Anyway, beside the point. Up until this point, we got really tired. We had a lot of walking and waiting in lines and stuff. I think what's interesting about Comic-Con is that there's like different sorts of events. There's one area that's like exhibits or like booths and stuff, and like there are a whole bunch of booths. You can just go around and have fun, and to be honest, that could take like a full day of just trying to get through, and you wouldn't even be able to get through all of the booths. But there's also like this schedule where like there's different specific events, so like panels or like signings, like limited signings or things like that take more effort to get into, so you have to wait in lines, and some people camp out, things like that. And if you guys don't know, this year at Comic-Con 2024 in San Diego, they also had the Marvel panel, and from what I heard, I didn't get to go, sadly, because that was not the day that I so happened upon to get, but on that day, there were people like camping out, like big groups of people camping out, just trying to go see it, and it turned out to be, well, a pretty good reveal, so to be honest, definitely worth it, but I'm not sure I'd be the camping out type. Anyway, so in the morning, we started out the day waiting in line for maybe 2 to 3 hours, just trying to see if possibly we could get into the limited signing. And the way that it works is that we wait in this line until it's time to go down, and then we go into this line to see and put our hand into like this bag and see if you get a ticket that has a little mark on it. This year it was a little kitty cat on it, so if you got a kitty cat, then you got to get a signing. And I didn't get one, but I think like I wasn't as eager to see this person that I was trying to, like, we were trying to get a signing for, but my boyfriend got it because he really wanted to get a signing for him. He brought comics for him to sign, things like that, and he got a little ticket that has a kitty cat on it. And so we ended up getting that, and then there's a time and a booth and a place where you have to go to get the signing, and even then you could come in and the person could leave before you get there, so you have to be on time and you have to be a little bit early to try to get in that line again. So it's sort of like interesting because there's lots of lines and you never know if you even actually get to get a signing, which I thought was odd. I get it, I understand, because there's lots of people, but also simultaneously it's kind of an odd roundabout way of trying to get to see like whether or not you're lucky enough to get a signing. But yeah, we did that in the morning, and then after that, I went to obviously see Milk and Mocha and got a lot of little trinkets. Maybe I'll do a haul later, but I got a few little things for myself and also for my boyfriend and for, you know, people that I care about, little souvenirs. But yeah, after we took the break, we ended up coming back to the event because we had about like an hour or so to take a break and then come back and get the signing that my boyfriend had won. So then we went back and we went to go get the signing.
I'm drenched in sunshine and good times, changing the station with an open mind. I don't wanna sound selfish, but I'm not coming back. The highs of your touch like vertigo. It's a fight or flight rush, no way to take it slow. Got me feeling like I could breathe in space, in space. Someday never comes, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere, endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind. It tastes like honey, call me hurricane, waking up to the sun when I'm out again. I didn't let it trade me when the pieces fell out of place. Unlock the giants, I'm too young for dying. I fight with defiance, hard to fit in when I'm flying, flying, fitting when I'm flying, flying. Someday never comes, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere, endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind. I'm drenched in sunshine and good times, changing the station with an open mind. I don't wanna sound selfish, but I'm not coming back. The highs of your touch like vertigo. It's a fight or flight rush, no way to take it slow. Got me feeling like I could breathe in space, in space. Someday never comes, road trips and shotguns, sunshine on my skin, smile is kicking in, vibes are in the air, jumping everywhere, endless nights, 'cause summer's on my mind.
Okay, so here's my debrief of San Diego Comic-Con as a first-time goer. I think it was definitely super fun, and I definitely want to go again. And now that I've talked to a few people at Comic-Con, it was definitely something that, like I found out that, like, Wednesday and Thursday, the first 2 days, are usually super chill. Wednesday is more of a preview night where you can go in, and it's mostly for like artists and things like that, so you can pick up specific art or specific artifacts or things that you want. So you should have a list of things that you want. Most people, that's what they do. And then Thursday, the day that I went, and Friday are more chill. Those are more booths, a few events, things like that, but people are a lot less, stressed out to try to get to certain panels and things like that. Those days are usually more chill, so I'm pretty glad that I actually chose Thursday because I don't know if I could handle the extreme stresses of going to a day where, like, for example, they have the Marvel panel or everybody's camping out, things like that, where there's more of a competitive nature to try to get to specific events. Because I don't know if I'm ready for that kind of stress yet. But yeah, so then the weekend is definitely the days where the more big panels and the things that everybody's waiting for, the big authors, the big comic writers, the big artists are supposed to come, and also Marvel and big like TV show people, things like that. I think in the future I might aim more close to try to get to Friday, maybe. So it's more chill, but also there are more people, artists, and people that might be interesting to get signings from. I also am super glad that I chose the character that I chose in terms of what I wanted to cosplay as. Originally, I wanted to cosplay as an OC, so an original character of mine. When that Spider Sona trend was going around, I created my own, and I wanted to create the costume for it, and I started it, but I didn't have enough time to finish it because I had so many other things I had to do, so I ended up pulling up together a last-minute costume, and the last minute costume that I chose was Sadness from Inside Out because I had blue hair at the time. And it turned out to be one of the greatest choices that I could make because on the day that I went, I got maybe like 30 pictures with different people, like people coming up to me asking me for pictures, or telling me like, oh my god, she's even doing the face. And I thought that was super funny for people to say because, like, I put in a lot of effort to do the makeup a specific way so that then I don't need to make the face. And it really worked out. And a lot of people could see that, like, I was sad even though my face was literally just like, you know. But I think that turned out really great. I also definitely think that, as someone who's never been to Comic-Con, it was interesting to see that most people weren't dressed up. Maybe it was because it was on one of the chill days, but most people weren't dressed up. So the few people who were, like, I wanted to take pictures and things like that. I do recommend definitely cosplaying for Comic-Con. I think it's an experience that everyone should have. It's a little bit nerve-wracking though. As someone who has social anxiety and doesn't like when people acknowledge me, it was a bit odd to see that like everybody, like basically everybody who passed me looked at me and smiled and pointed. Cause like imagine you're walking down the street, your face is just like this. But on to other people, your face is blue and your face is like, and they're all just, and like, it was a bit weird. It made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but after some time and after a few people doing it, I started to, feel a little bit more comfortable. Also, after a few times of people asking for pictures, I started to feel more comfortable as well. And I think it's definitely an experience that I really enjoyed. I don't take it back. I'm really glad that I did it. And I think that in the future, if I do go back to Comic-Con, I would definitely want to cosplay again and put more time and effort into my outfit. Even though this one was a success, I definitely want to put in more effort in the future. I do have to say though, I did have one complaint out of everything. After the Dragon Ball Z event that I went with my boyfriend, we went to this elevator to try to go up back into the building, and we had taken the elevator to come down, but when we got there, they told us that we couldn't go up because we didn't have an ADA sticker. And the ADA sticker is if you have a handicap and you need to take the elevator, or they provide specific aids for people who have handicaps, so that's why you get the ADA sticker. However, I didn't get the ADA sticker at the beginning of Comic-Con, and I didn't know I needed to, and so I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do have a hidden disability, and I don't really want to share that on the internet, but I was in a lot of pain at that point into Comic-Con because we had been walking and going around and standing for several hours on end. So I kind of needed to take the elevator. My only other option, which they were trying to make me do, was to take the stairs, and the stairs at San Diego Comic-Con are like super small and super steep. And I am not the type of person who likes to create trouble. I feel like a burden, and I also don't like to admit that I have a disability, so oftentimes I sort of push myself past my limit because I want so badly to not feel like I have a disability. So I told my boyfriend, I was like, you know what, it's okay. I'll just take the stairs. And he refused. And thankfully, I have a boyfriend who's super supportive of me and takes care of me. And he made sure that he would fight for me in the situation, even though they kept telling me that I couldn't go up because I didn't have a sticker. And they even made a very horrible comment about my boyfriend and made assumptions about me and just was super discriminatory in general. And this was like their security team who was telling all of these things to us, trying to make sure that we took the stairs. And so my boyfriend asked for the manager. The manager came downstairs and we waited for like several minutes for him to come. And then he straight up asked me what my disability was, which I don't know if you guys know this, but that's like a big no-no, and you're not supposed to ask people that, but he did. And just because I don't have a cane or I don't have a wheelchair or I don't have an aid, doesn't mean that I don't have a disability. And I think it's so baffling how many people automatically assume just because you don't have, a physical aid, it means that you don't have a disability. And there are a whole bunch of people in the world who have, hidden disabilities. Not a lot of people think about that, but this security team had the audacity to make several remarks that were very discriminatory, make me feel like sad, and I genuinely wanted to cry, and make me feel like I had to take the stairs and cause myself intense and immense more pain that I probably wouldn't have been able to do any more of Comic-Con. And made a remark towards my boyfriend as well, and then also made me wait in front of a whole bunch of people to take an elevator that I actually needed. And then ultimately they let me go, but they didn't let my boyfriend go, even though he was the one who was assisting me. They made him take the stairs by himself. And then they made sure, like, they said on the radio to each other in front of my face to clear the elevator before I got on, to make sure I went up by myself. So I would feel like I felt so isolated and I felt so sad and I felt like I was put in under the spotlight, telling me and flashing a light in my face, telling me that I wasn't good enough. And I made it up to the top of the elevator, and when I got up there, the workers who were up there, who had previously actually told us that we could come back down and go back up through the elevator when we finished downstairs, they just gave me a look and then looked down and didn't acknowledge me, didn't say anything, and it made me feel so sad and uncomfortable and discriminated against, and it made me want to cry. And I didn't want to talk about it anymore, but we did end up talking to somebody else about it, and we asked like this worker at the information desk about the ADA stickers and also about the situation. And she told us that the ADA stickers are actually in a location, and only one location, that was completely on the other side of the convention. And there was no way I was going to be able to walk all the way over there and still feel like it was worth it to walk back to go to the place that I wanted to go. So I ended up deciding not to go. And I think it's so odd to me that they only had the stickers in one place where people could pick them up when, some people don't have the ability to go that far. But anyway, and she also told us that this was a brand new security team for this year's Comic-Con. So she told us that like they're still working out the bugs, and she was really sorry that that had happened to us. And I appreciated her words, and it was nice to know that, like, maybe next time we go to Comic-Con, this kind of thing won't happen. But that didn't really change the fact that it made me really sad and made me want to cry and made me feel so alone. But even though that was one bad thing, I do have to say that the rest of Comic-Con was literally the best experience ever, and I'm so happy I got to go. But yeah, I think the trip overall was a success, and we got lots of goodies, both me and my boyfriend, and also we got lots of souvenirs for friends. So yeah, that's my whole debrief of Comic-Con. I realized I didn't mention my big highlight of the trip. In terms of Comic-Con, my biggest highlight of the trip was getting a signing for my boyfriend, because the smile on his face, that gave me happiness that I can't replace. And honestly, I even said this to my boyfriend, but the reason why I wanted to take him to Comic-Con is because the memory is something that's irreplaceable. And at the end of the day, the truth is that sometimes, relationships don't work out, but if, we don't, which I don't think that we won't, I think that we will work out for the rest of our lives, because I have faith. Anyway, but if we don't, he will always have this memory to think back fondly and remember me, and I will always have this memory of him smiling and not being able to stop, and, knowing that I was the one who could help him get that. But yeah, and then my second favorite thing was obviously going to Milk and Mocha and being able to get all my cute little things, because that's definitely the booth that I had been anticipating for most of the time. And then my third favorite thing is getting all those photos with people, especially the little kids, because I remember there was one little kid who ran up to me when I was sitting on the sidewalk or something while drinking water, and she ran up to me and she asked for a photo, and it was super cute, and it melted my little heart, and it made me feel wow, this is what I did this for. But yeah, and then overall, the whole trip, a notable highlight is the fact that Ambea was super good and super patient and listened to me and listened to my boyfriend when we asked her to, and also when we left her in the hotel by herself. She was perfect. She ended up laying in the spot that I was sleeping the night before, and it was super cute because it felt sort of she was missing me, and she went to my spot to give her comfort. And every single night that I was there, we cuddled, and it was really nice. She was super cuddly and she was giving me lots of comfort. But yeah.
Take me on a trip around the moon. You add shooting stars to all my blue. I'm falling in love with every move. You give me something to lose, baby, all I need is. Thought I'd be stuck in a static forever, telling myself it could be enough. I didn't know that I was looking for something to jump until I jumped into us. Now I'm wrapped up and you can't deny it. Hit me like a hurricane of lightning. Baby, if I'm dreaming, don't you wake me up, up, up. Need you in my lungs. Take me on a trip around the moon. You add shooting stars to all my blue. I'm falling in love with every move. You give me something to lose, baby, all I need is. Give me something that I could lose. Baby, all I need is you. Give me something that I could lose. Baby, all I need is you. Every time you touch me, I swear that I see the future in everything you do. I kinda like it came right out of the clouds, like a storm full of colors in my room. Now I'm wrapped up and you can't deny it. Hit me like a hurricane of lightning. Baby, if I'm dreaming, don't you wake me up, up, up. Need you in my lungs. Take me on a trip around the moon. You add shooting stars to all my blue. I'm falling it could be enough. I didn't know that I was looking for something to jump until I jumped into us. Now I'm wrapped up and you can't deny it. Hit me like a hurricane of lightning. Baby, if I'm dreaming, don't you wake me up, up, up. Need you in my lungs. Take me on a trip around the moon. You add shooting stars to all my blue. I'm falling in love with every move. You give me something to lose. Baby, all I need is you. Give me something that I could lose. Baby, all I need is you. Give me something that I could lose. Baby, all I need is you. Every time you touch me, I swear that I see the future in everything you do. Ah, kinda like it came right out of the clouds, like a storm full of colors in my room. Now I'm wrapped up and you can't deny it. Hit me like a hurricane of lightning. Baby, if I'm dreaming, don't you wake me up, up, up. Need you in my lungs. Take me on a trip around the moon. You add shooting stars to all my blue. I'm falling in love with every move. You give me something to lose. Baby, all I need is you. Give me something that I could lose. I've been waiting, but every time I think about you, baby, I wanna take it slow. Oh, I've been waiting, but every time I think about you, baby, I wanna take it slow. But I can't wait no more. Fast, slow, why can't we just take control?